We're going to be cleaning up this heap. So if you guys want to watch me clean it and have any questions, you can. It's a DeLorean, which I'm sure you probably figured out because that's what it said on the live thing. We're going to clean it out. It's been sitting for a really, really long time. The last registration date was 1987. And so, yeah, we're going to start with the trunk area, get all the mice ruminants out. And y'all can watch and we'll go from car or part of the car to part of the car. And if y'all have questions, ask and I'll try to get to them. It's getting a little loud and turn the vacuum on. Actually, I'm going to probably do this a little bit differently. If y'all have any questions, let me know. But yeah, we'll just, and I wonder if I can bring you guys down in here with me. No, y'all can kind of see it. There we go. Nasty in here. So we're going to go through and start cleaning up. This shouldn't take very long on this part. And we'll move to the inside of the car. Screws and stuff are finally put here. This is all the original tools right here. We'll put them there on the windshield for the moment. Might be kind of boring, but I figured I would at least come on and let anybody who's into cars. But this car has been sitting for over, like I said, over 30 years and was neglected. And from what I can tell, it looks like somebody tried to start a process of fixing it at one point and actually did more damage than good. I actually just discovered that the whole rear wiring harness is completely melted. So there's that. But yeah. And that hopefully should clean up pretty good. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them on and I will take a look. But yeah, we're cleaning up a 40-year-old car that's been sitting most of its life. That's what we're doing. Take this to the other side. All right. All right. It's a DeLorean, by the way. I'm sure you all knew that. Anybody that's watching. Like I said, any questions, put them down. I'll take a look in a minute. If you have any. All right. Well, aside from needing to be wiped down, that's much better. All right, no questions yet. That's okay. I'm doing this more for fun than what my normal stuff is. Anyway, that I don't think I need that. I'll keep it just in case, because you never know. All right. Okay. So that's cleaner in there. And I'm going to roll these tools back up. Well, actually, I might clean up the bag first, so I'll leave that out for the moment. So it looks good. But we can at least put this guy back on. And while I'm doing this, as I take a look at the comments, if there are any comments or questions, and y'all want to see anything specific on this car, just let me know. I think this went somewhere. It's right there. All right. And these screws goes down there. Okay, we got new ones in the other car. Okay. So yeah, we'll clean all that up. It'll be good as new. Okay. What you working on, bud? It is a 1981 DeLorean that I just got today. It is a barn find car. It's been sitting, from what I can tell, since 1987. And it's got 25,000 miles on it. And I'm just cleaning it up. Just got today. I did a couple video tours on it. We're going to be TikToking the restoration of it. I'll show you what we just cleaned up. There's a lot of debris and stuff in here, but I'll take this off and show you. Yeah, it looks much better in the trunk, but yeah, here's the car for the moment. It's got light and stuff so I can prop y'all up. Yep. Believe it or not, though, I like the movie's fine, but I'm not like the biggest fan of the movie. I mean, it's good. I just like the car because of what John DeLorean tried to do. So yeah, let me grab some stuff to clean. I'll be right back. I'm gonna wipe stuff down. Get some stainless cleaner. There that is. I'm dropping stuff over here. Some glass cleaner. Get this stuff, which is just generic cleaner. All right. A bunch of rags. So it's caked in a layer of dust because it's been sitting in a storage shed for at least 7 years. Yeah, he did try. But yeah, maybe while I'm doing this, let me move you guys so y'all can actually see the car versus just like the trunk. You can hear the music too. Sorry, I got all my crap in my hand. I did find this in the car, which is Music City DMC. It is the ugliest hat I've ever seen. But yeah. So we'll start with the windshield. I'll kind of close this down a little bit so we can kind of see what we're going to do in the process. But we got some invisible glass, so we're going to start with that. You can see the layers of dust. But the neat thing about stainless steel, and I just dropped you guys, but the neat thing about stainless steel, there we go. You can see that, there we go, is that, 1 second guys, I broke my little light. I'll play with that later. Is that it cleans up really nice no matter how long it's been sitting. So we'll start with the windshield and we'll go from there. Because it's a lot easier to work on a car when it's clean versus dirty. And like I said, keep the questions coming. I'll keep looking. And I have another DeLorean sitting over in the driveway at the moment. It got kicked out for this one to come in. And one of them is going to not be here forever. One of them is going to be sold. Right now, I'm not sure which one. This one's kind of pissing me off already. But keep trying. I figured I would just hang out Saturday night. If anybody's got any questions. Yeah, no more questions at this moment. Let me see if I can get y'all even better view of the car. There we go. Now you can see how the difference on the windshield already. All right. Well, you need a couple going overs. Again, minimum of 7 years worth of dust. At least it was inside. At some point, you can tell it was outside. Let me grab some more. I'm going to hit it again, and then we'll work on the hood. I do like this invisible glass stuff, though. It does a good job. But yeah, and if you guys are car people and are interested in watching the restoration and all the stuff that we're going to do to this, I know that typically if you're my follower on here, you know that I talk about a lot of narcissistic parent stuff. But I'm also going to do the restoration of this car, assuming I keep this car. What's going on? Get the music a little bit louder because there's some good music going on. All right, that's pretty clean. See if you have any question. Where did I get the car? So actually, this car in particular has been. I live in Sumner County, Tennessee, and this car has been a local car its entire life. In fact, the registration sticker on it. I'll show it to you. Sorry. If I can. The camera. There we go. So 1987 wheel tax. And so it's been here the whole life. The hat that I found in it indicates that it's from Music City, which is Nashville, which is where I'm in a suburb of. And so it indicates it was bought here. The thing that's neat about DeLoreans, though, is that there's a pretty major archive that the DeLorean Museum does. And I sent off today for the paperwork to see who the original owner was. So hopefully that'll come back in a couple weeks. And yeah, we'll know who it was and see if he's still alive. All right, so this is stainless cleaner. We'll do part of the hood and we'll see the difference. I might need to go inside and get more stainless cleaner. All right. So on these cars, you also want to wipe with the grain. Otherwise, you'll scratch it. Like just one wipe. That's how much crap has come off it. It could use a real bath, but for right now, this is what we're going to do because it's inside and it's got a super flat tire that there's no way it's going to air up. So I'll put the spare on it and hope that a 40-year-old spare holds air. I doubt it. I mean, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the invisible glass because glass cleaner is also good for stainless cleaner. It's got some imperfections in the grain, but that's actually pretty easy to take out. There's no, there's no dings or pitting or anything in it, so it's good. It just needs to be properly cleaned, but this will give us looks a good starting place. You can kind of see the difference from that side to that side of the dust hanging on it. It is a DeLorean. It's a 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. And it's got a friend. I'll show you guys that too. So I'm a little sweaty. I kicked it out of the garage, but there's its friend right there. I've had that one for about 7 years. There we go. So yeah, we're just going to clean it up a little bit. Give us a good workspace. And kind of go from there. We'll go to the interior next after this. Well, after we do the fenders and stuff. I think I'm going to have to run inside and get more stainless cleaner. Stuff that I'm using actually is not the stuff I usually use. I actually don't like this stuff that much. So I'm happy to run out of it. But if you can see on the camera, you can see the difference in color. But the interesting thing about these cars is, you know, the bumpers are painted and the louvers on the back are painted, but the rest of it is just bare metal. So it's real easy to clean up. And even after sitting in a field or storage forever, they still typically look pretty well. You might be able to see from here. You probably can't. That's all faded, so we're going to have to repaint that black. But I have the proper stuff. Yeah, it is the Back to the Future car. But without all this shit on it. So, like I said earlier, I like the movie fine, but I didn't buy the car because of the movie. It'll be interesting to find out the history, though, of who like owned it at some point. If there's anybody famous, given that it's Nashville in the 80s, it could have been a country star. Who knows? So that'll be pretty neat. I'm not really a fan of country, but still. Maybe I can just rub with the grain on it. But all the trim will need to be cleaned and repainted. Things will be tightened. We're probably going to have to replace all the locks because there's no key. And I discovered tonight that the rear wiring harness is fried because somebody worked on it and didn't know what they were doing. So I got to order a new one of those. Fortunately, I know what I'm doing. So I have some stuff that'll work better than this, but for now, this does a good job. I'll come over there in a second and check for any more questions about the car, and then we'll move to the inside. It sucks, though, about the harness because I can't throw a battery in it and test anything because I could call it a fire until I order the new harness and get it wired and figure out what happened in the first place, which just take a little bit of tracing. We'll do this and then we'll do the other side. All right. Let's see. Yeah, thanks. I'll go to the inside. Let me see if I can figure out how to get y'all propped up in here. So here's the inside. Oh, I'll flip it around. So it's a little dirty. The seats aren't bolted down, so I'm going to probably just take them out so I can clean and get all this stuff back together. So let's see if I can set you guys there. Well, that's not a good spot. All right. Oh, we'll figure it out. Oh, that's not even bad. That's worse. There, I'll just set you up on the dash. Oh, here we go. There we go. Put you there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. All right. Again, the seats aren't bolted down, so we're going to take it out. Be careful. We don't want to tear anything that's not damaged. Loud noise. Sorry about that. I found an old house key for this car, but not for the car, but old house key. Let's see if there's anything good under here. Nothing. I'm hoping that I'll find the spare key as I go through this. I'm not feeling that optimistic, though. But you never know. How many miles it has? Hey, Crystal. It has 25,853 miles. Very, very low miles for a 40-year-old car. Very low miles. All right, we'll clean this up. Sorry, it's getting a little noisy again. We're just going to clean up the carpet. I'm going to steam clean them too at some point here. And everything overall is in good shape, except for what maybe saw the sun. But some of the really hard to deal with pieces are in really great shape. I think we need to light it up a little bit in here. For those of you that are joining us, we are working on a 1981 DeLorean. Let's put this in here. Yeah, that's not there. I think we need more light in here. So, let's see. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Unplug myself. There we go. Let me see your question. I'm not tagging you, Amy. The TikTok does that. I don't know how to tag people on a live. That's just something that TikTok does. I just turn it on and yeah. I used to take them to car shows. That's a great question. I used to take them to car shows. Well, not this one. I just got this one, but the other one. But you know what's interesting about having a car like this is because they're a big part of pop culture. Um, people feel the need that they can just sit in them, touch them, do all this sort of stuff to it, and they kind of got tired of it. A buddy of mine's car got damaged with somebody sat in it without permission, and so I just kind of don't do it anymore. That might change, but I don't really do it anymore because of that reason. But one of them is not going to stay. I'm only going to end up with one. I don't need two of the pretty much exact same cars. I mean, the differences between them is this is an earlier car, and um, it's got some features the other one doesn't, and it's got a black interior. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same. So this is the piece. This goes right. I know what that is. This piece goes down here. Of course, it's missing the part that makes it the key part. So I don't know. I'm just going to set it there. It's not going to really go fully back there. The other car has that piece cut out for a system. So these are actually real wood. That's how they did it. I can turn this off for the time being. All right. So we'll put these guys back here. That's where they belong. All right. Cargo net's kind of in a way. So when John DeLorean designed this car, what's something interesting about it is it was designed for the bachelor who's made it. So this area back here is big enough for a set of golf clubs. I don't play golf, but still interesting. So the carpet here is gone, so we'll need to replace that. It's not a big deal. And this net goes like this. Let's leave it there for now because I got to put this other piece in. But other than that, the car's pretty clean. What will you do with it? So with this one, I'm going to go through this one and see basically how it cleans up compared to the other one, how it goes mechanically. This one has significantly less miles than my current one and a better frame. But my other one is much further along with a lot of customization. So I've got to go through in the next couple months and figure out which one of these I'm gonna keep. So I don't know yet. This one would be ideal. This one has literally every feature, for the most part, almost every feature that I wanted on one of these cars. The other one was just a decent deal when I bought it, and this one was a great deal when I bought it. Actually, they were both great deals. It's really hard to find a deal on these, and this one was like only about 8 miles from my house, which was interesting. I'm gonna turn this back on for a second. Just for a second, I saw that I missed. But I mean, original carpet and everything. I mean, it's 40-year-old carpet and it's in unbelievable shape. There's not, aside from under the seat where just, I guess, moisture hit at one point, um, the carpet's in incredible shape. I can tell you though, if I keep this one, the things that are going to happen to it is it's going to get a set of coilovers. It's going to get heated seats because the seats need to be reupholstered, and every time I do that, I put heated seats in a car. Um, may or may not get an upgraded exhaust. The other one has an upgraded exhaust. Um, Definitely get the seats reupholstered, like I said. New headliners, new visors, stuff like that. So, and for you guys who are just joining, this is a DeLorean that I just picked up today. It's a barn find car. It's been sitting for 30-something years. From what I can surmise, it's been sitting for 34 years, actually. I'm going to go to the other side. This side's a lot messier. I wish I was missing the light in here. I'm struggling here. There we go. Oh, there we go. Not everything, but it looks like most of it's here. There we go. Sorry. So here's what we're getting. The seat is loose also. A lot of little parts and stuff in here. This is a rubber strip for possibly the hood. Probably the hood, actually. I'm pretty positive. So I'll put that back there. And then I got all of, let me flip the camera around. There we go. Sorry about the light being blinding. But yeah, we'll clean all this stuff up, get in a box, and then go from there. So a lot of this stuff is not even available anymore on a car. This is a very, very early car. So it makes it harder to get some of the stuff. But I got all the stuff on the shelves here are all DeLorean parts. DeLorean parts. So I have a lot. Take this over here. I'll go get a box. Yeah, I just figured I would turn on live and work on this and hang out with y'all while I did it if there was interest. Flip the camera back around. There we go. And again, if you have any questions, I know that Bressalong has had a few great questions, as a matter of fact. Feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer. Trying to figure out where to prop the car on this side. You know, we'll just set it here while I take the seat out. Here's the ignition. Somebody ripped that out, so that's going to have to go back in. And I'm still hopeful that as I'm doing this, I'll find the key. But I'm starting to get less and less optimistic. Like, seats are heavy. I'm trying not to scratch the car. All right. So yeah, this definitely indicates, all this stuff down here definitely indicates, let me flip it around again. I'm doing real bad camera work tonight. All this to me indicates that there was a mouse here at some point. Here's the battery in here. I don't know how old it is. I started to take a look, trying to figure out the date on it. I'm going to guess 2000. That's when the tires are from. Can't tell. Nevertheless, I'm going to shove it back in here. Here's the battery strap. I'm not going to worry about that now. This is the, sorry, there we go. I'll set y'all up here so y'all can see. No, y'all can't see anything with that. There we go. This is the battery cover. There should be, there's some broken glass in here. There should be something, usually goes right here. And there's some stuff that holds it on, and then that goes like that. Keeps it held on. So we're going to get all this stuff here cleaned up. Check this broken glass. So I'm guessing a window was broken at some point on this car. There's a lot of broken glass down here. This piece goes over there. All right, so for the rest of this stuff, oh, look, here's the original clock. I thought that was missing. These things, let me see if I can find it. It's not on, but those clocks are really hard to find, and they're worth a freaking fortune. So I was worried that it wasn't there. So good to find. I set all this stuff. I'll show you what I'm cleaning up here. Y'all can hopefully see that. Maybe. You know, let me flip it around. Anyway, you can kind of see. So relays, and this looks like it goes. In fact, it definitely goes to the ignition. This definitely goes to the ignition. Goes like that. Let you know what key position you are. And screw with this later. I don't know. Oh, that's the fuse box cover. It's got a little hole in it, and the reason it does is because most people take these off because the fuse box gets hot. And I don't know what this. Oh, this is an old door handle. The fuse box gets hot and melts. That's what it does. So there's a bunch of bolts there. I don't know what some of this stuff is. I think these look like seatbelt bolts to me. Or seat bolts, not seatbelt bolts. Looking like down here before I grab onto stuff. This gives us a good starting place. Getting it all cleaned up. Because nobody's given it any love. And like I said, probably 35, 30 years. This part goes to the battery compartment. All sorts of stuff. I'm going to throw stuff. Once we do this, we'll clean all this up. I don't know what is that. Well, that's trash. All right. I'm going to get the vacuum, bring it through, and we're going to clean up this actually too. Is the battery inside the car? The battery is inside the car. Yeah, it's behind the driver's seat. It's a rear engine car, so the battery is actually very close to the motor, but it's inside the car. I don't know why it really wasn't put in the motor itself or back there with it, because there is plenty of room. I wonder if it was because John DeLorean originally had plans for a much larger engine model, and that never came through to fruition before the company went bankrupt or went under. So I'm wondering if that's part of the reason why it's like that. But here, I'll show you how bad this looks. So yeah, okay. So you can see all the dirt. This acorns and stuff indicate that there were rodents in this car at one point. Nothing looks too bad as far as wiring, except for in the motor area, and I'll show you that in a minute after I vacuum this. And I'm gonna have to clean up the fuse box mess. I can't talk today. Fuse box mess. And grab this real quick. Grab all this stuff real quick here. And shove it through the car. Sorry if that just hit you guys. All right. Come back around to y'all side. There you go. Okay. Yeah, he did hit y'all. That's okay. Yeah, it's common with European cars, especially of that era, to have their batteries kind of hidden under the seat and stuff. That's pretty common. Behind the seat, just in the weird places. In fact, even now, I have two Mercedes, and they're front engine cars, and the batteries are in the trunk. So, yeah, it's pretty common for Europe even today. All right. I came all the way over here, and then can't turn on the vacuum. I'll get it back. Sorry about the noise. Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate the interest. And you've been hanging around for a while, too, so I definitely appreciate that also. I don't think TikTok has been putting my lives out there or my videos out there as often as they used to. So, I appreciate any of the support, 100%. I'll just go off for a second because there's some acorns behind you. So there's some glass in here. So that tells me, funny, you can learn a lot of things just by kind of snooping through the car. But the fact that there's glass in here indicates that at some point in this car's life, probably when it was much newer, something got me. It probably had somebody break into it and broke a window. My guess. It's cleaning up nice. The other car isn't perfect, but I can show you kind of it if you want when we're done. You know, cars aren't that hard to work on, so I started working on cars um, because I was poor and I couldn't afford the mechanic. I just threw something at myself. I couldn't afford a mechanic, and I had a mechanic because I always liked weird cars. My first car was in the 1990s, late 90s. It was a '77 Fiat X19. If you probably don't know what that is, it's a pretty obscure car. And the mechanic that I had actually used to. I worked for him for a period of time, and I worked for him so I could partially learn how to work on cars. Plus, took auto shop in school. I did that because the it was either learn how to do it or figure out how to come up with a lot of money. Well, I worked at like Kroger back then, or Publix, and I think the most I made was $4.75 an hour. So you can imagine it was expensive to try to get all that done. And then the mechanic that I went to used to purposely damage people's cars, so they would have to come back. If they purposely damage, I mean like he would make something, he'd fix one thing, and then make something else so it would fail. They'd have to bring it back pretty immediately, and you just chalked it up to being an old European car. So that's why I learned how to work on cars. And this was the car, DeLorean, which I have now I guess two of them. This was always my dream car. This is the car that I wanted more than anything growing up. I just thought it was a weird car with cool doors. So there we go. That's much better. It's cleaner. Let's get this back side of it. We can put back together. Okay, I'm going to move you guys for a second. You can see the door is lifted above my head. So the doors go up. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, it's I went through quite a bit of stuff. You know, it's almost one of those things that it's like you start to tell these stories, um, and you're like, oh my God, they're just so ridiculous. Like, and now that I'm a parent, even more so. Let me turn this off. I'll tell you something really interesting. I haven't shared this story yet, but since there's only like three people in here, there is a branch of my family, an extended branch of my family, that when everything went down with my mom the first time, or the last time when we stopped talking, um, I called them up trying to get their side of the story because I knew that there were challenges with that side of the family too. And the first thing she said when she picked up the phone was, "Your side of the family doesn't need to be talking to mine." And to be honest with you, I would have been suspect of me too because I was always very loyal to my mom. I always thought that she was the victim. I believed that she was being wronged, even though that was not the case. She was the one making everybody else a victim. And she hadn't really talked to me in the last 2 years. And then, oddly enough, my this family member, her and her sister, found my TikTok stories organically and reached out to me and are trying to reconnect with that side of the family. You know, people who they know aren't in with my mom, and trying to salvage some relationship there. So, you know, there's a lot of really good things that have come about it. It's a sad story, and you know, I hope nobody ever has a mom like that. But at the same time, you know, a lot of good has come of it. The losing my mom, in a sense, brought so many better family members out of it. So that's the positive spin I'll take on it. My wife just got on. She's looking. Hey, look, Alyssa. I'm going to show her since she's inside with the baby. Look how much cleaner it came up. You see? Gotta take that piece out, but it's pretty clean. So, but I appreciate that. You know, and I hope that nobody ever has to go through that. But unfortunately, some people have. I'm going to put this piece back on here. For those of you guys who are just joining, because I see a couple of new people in here, I just picked up this 1981 DeLorean today barn find, and I'm just kind of cleaning up to get a baseline. I took the seats out of it; they're over there, and trying to get it put back together. to kind of see what we got to do. I know that there's a list of stuff that I'm going to have to order and go through, but we're going to clean it up for a little bit first. I'm going to set y'all down right here while I try to do this. Oh, I didn't mean to drop y'all. Finally flip it around. What's it say? Yeah, you're right. And I think that's why that initial story blew up. And I had no idea. And for me, and I think for them too, for people who have gone through it, I think that it's validating, right? I think that people are like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone in this, because when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, and I've asked a couple questions the last couple days, of followers like, hey, tell me a time when. There we go. Put this nut back up. Um, you start to kind of think you're crazy, like especially toward the end of everything. I remember that my mom, like I would say, well, you did this or this happened, or this is the way that this went down. And she'd be like, no, it didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. And basically what she's trying to do is trying to discredit you. Um, oh, you're waiting for me to mention the Back to the Future in the car? That's funny. Well, I'm in the new one. So the other one, this is its spot and it got kicked outside for tonight. But yeah, this is the new one. This is a barn find, 25,000-mile car that's been sitting for a really long time, and we're just trying to clean it up a little bit to get a baseline. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one and steal some parts off my other one and make this one a full one or whatever. Oh, that's the time you entered from? Okay, cool. That's the one you entered from? Awesome. Yeah, that's what we're working on. But my main content is about narcissistic family members, and so this is kind of something different. Although I am going to catalog the work on this car on TikTok as well, so they're going to have to live in harmony. But I have some tendencies to be narcissistic, thankfully. I think that's good, and make sure that you don't perpetuate that. The fact that you can see that is good. And the other thing that I'll say, that when everything finally went down, and especially when I became a parent, I really kind of started like realizing some of the stuff that my mom did that was kind of fucked up. Well, really fucked up. You've seen the stories, So, um, and I decided I'm not going to do that to my children. It's just not something that I want to do. And I think that it makes me a better parent. Like my wife, and she can vouch for me. Let me grab a drink. Um, I was going to be this hard ass parent and like, tough on the kids. And, I had a little girl, and that child's my world. She's got me wrapped around her finger, and she's amazing. She's an amazing kid. So I'm going to go get some more cleaning stuff. I'll be right back. And so, yeah, it's just, simple things like don't have your child arrested for frivolous things like trying to get a hat out of the trash can, which is what happened to me. Or I'm missing something. Or I think I said the story I told earlier was the fact that, I had a situation when I was really young, and my teacher had just passed away, and I had a friend when I was very young pass away. I'm missing something. I don't know where it is. And I was really scared one night of death, because that's what it was about, and terrified. And I went and knocked on my mom's door, my stepdad's door, and they wouldn't let me in, and told me to go back to bed or I was going to get a spanking. And so I wouldn't do anything like that to my kid either. So strangely enough, I dated a true narcissist recently for a month and one experience. Thank you. I learned from time. Yeah. So, the thing about narcissists, especially if you don't have any experience with one, you have no idea. It can get real, real bad. I'm spraying stuff down. Um, my mom was really, really rough. And like I said, she always portrayed herself as a victim, and she was not the victim. She was the perpetuator. And yeah, it's rough. I'm glad that you recognize that there was a problem there. Exactly, best to teach your child, because at the age that I was, like I said, it was like sometime between 7 and 9. I can't remember. I could probably go back and do the math if I had to, but that's a pretty heavy, subject matter for them. I mean, it's heavy for adults, much less kids. And to just be like, you go back to bed or I'm going to spank you, that was it. And like I said, and I loved my teacher. His name was Mr. Blair, and he passed away. This was the early 90s. I was probably 8 or 9. It was the early 90s, and he passed away. They said it was of pneumonia, but he was gay, and he had a partner, and he really died of AIDS. And it was really sad. And, obviously as kids, I mean, they didn't tell us, they said it was pneumonia. It was kind of explained to me what really happened with him. And the car's cleaning up really nice. Um, and, I didn't really understand, you know. So, yeah, it's heavy stuff. But I'm glad you got out of it. Narcissists don't change, or like, let me say that, it's very rare that they change. Sometimes they are self-aware, but typically not. There's one saying that I say a lot, and actually, ironically, this is something that my mom used to say. I got it from her, and it's that they may not be right, but they're never wrong. Right? So narcissists are, they might not be right, but they're never wrong. They're never going to say that they're wrong. So I really like these cleaning products. Some of them I already knew about. Some of them my little brother-in-law turned me on to. I'm pretty pleased with them. Much love from you. Thank you. We're trying to. Hopefully, you too. How are things going on? How are things down in Brazil? It's cleaned up pretty good. I'm pleased. Sorry. Hey, Mechanical Shenanigans. Thanks for coming in. We're working on a DeLorean tonight. Getting it cleaned up. I'm gonna go to the other side of the car, and I'll turn you guys around. Move that up. There we go. What other vehicles do I have? I have another DeLorean, and I have an awesome 2015 Honda Odyssey. Y'all should be jealous. The minivan. The car behind me that you can kind of see right there is a Mercedes GLS 450. And then on the other side of it, there is a 1999 Mercedes-Benz SLK 230 with only like 90,000 miles on it. And it's actually going to probably be sold soon. COVID situation is bad, but where I live, things are slowly getting better. That was kind of what I was curious about, because we're starting to see numbers creep up. So I live in Tennessee, which you may or may not know where that is, because I know Americans are very eccentric on our places of living, but I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, it's been bad for vaccinations, and the Delta variant starting to spread. And I know that Mississippi is starting to get bad, and kids are starting to. Oops, you guys. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about y'all's president, but I've understood that in South America things have been a little, we'll just say, challenging. I just dropped something. I don't know what oh, this guy. I used to go out of the car. I'm just like literally sitting on the carpet on this car. I'm using a leather conditioner on this because whether it's leather or not, the stuff hasn't probably seen any type of anything in years. So what is still okay, I'm trying to keep in good shape. It's cleaning up pretty nice though. I'll give it that. Love the black interior. Yeah, I don't know too much about politics in Brazil. I know a little bit more about Venezuela, but not even that much there. I hate to admit that. Oh no. Did you get infected with it too? Hi, Allison. Haven't seen you. Well, I haven't done a live in a while either. Doing a little bit different of a live than I normally do. Oh, for anybody else too that's interested, I did a thing earlier. So my wife and I also own two Airbnbs, and we have a very good friend that got us into it, and they're pretty lucrative. And because of that, we like to share when we can. I don't like ask. I don't want money or anything for doing it. I just like to pay it forward. but I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow if anybody's interested on how to do that. Yeah, Disney World was awesome. Victoria had a great time. She's now obsessed, and I mean like super obsessed with Mickey Mouse. My wife, I think, has become a Disney adult and wants to go back. It's funny, she used to give Disney adults a hard time, but she's not going to like put the crap on her car or anything like that. She's just really wants to go back. But it was fun. Thank you for asking. What have you been up to? The last couple times I've gone live, you know what the thing is? I think that TikTok, if I'm noticing it from the video today, I've heard a lot of other creators say that TikTok's been kind of suppressing them. And I don't really understand what the point of that would be. But there's adult backs. That's funny. She's in here too, so she can respond. Um, but if she's listening. But I don't remember what I was saying. I totally got. Oh yeah, so I think that TikTok is suppressing creators, and I think like they're not pushing lives out, they're not pushing videos out. Oh, okay, cool. Alyssa, you see that they have cool bags for adults from Loungefly. You can ask questions because Allison, are you a Disney adult? She wants. Well, she's asking. You guys can, yeah, y'all can hash that out. All right, so it's not promised. Flip it around. It's not perfect, but look at it, shiny, shiny. So I'm pleased. Did all this stuff back here. Yeah. I'm gonna still do the trunk area. You're talking about the backpacks, yes. Yeah, I kept trying to buy her one while we were there, and she just didn't find what she wanted. They were more than $75. For those of you who are just joining, we are now apparently talking about Disney backpacks. We're talking about a lot of things tonight. We're talking about narcissistic family members. We're talking about this new DeLorean that I didn't need, but I have. And we're talking about Disney backpacks. So y'all jump in. But yeah, we're also, main thing is we're cleaning this car up. It's sitting for so long. Convenient headliners. You know what we're going to do? We're going to close the door. And we're going to try to not spill the beer. We're going to clean the inside door panel, because I did forget about those, because the doors are above you. Put that there. See, this looks bad. You can kind of see that. I'm going to spray it down. I don't care if I get it on the window, because I got to clean the windows. Let's see what happens with these. Yeah, Disney World's expensive. Like, this is like the best like leather cleaner I've ever used. I used to be exclusive to a brand called Lexol, but this stuff like kicks its ass. Oh, the food at Disney was freaking phenomenal. Look at that. That's what it looks like after cleaning. Well, it's kind of whatever, but yeah. The interior on this car is pretty good. Gotcha. I'm gonna have to do my own research. Not that I'm saying I don't believe you. I just would like to do research because I don't like to be uninformed. I try not to be one of those Americans. All right, I gotta go do the other side that I forgot about. Yeah, yeah, you should be confused. So normally my wife was like, "You don't want to do this. It's not your normal base." I'm like, "Well, I'm just gonna clean the car, and people are interested, they can stay, and if they're not, then they don't have to." But yeah, sorry, I'm gonna sit down, and then you can see me again. But yeah, I bought this car today, and I'm cleaning it up. But my typical content is narcissistic parents. Let me flip y'all around. I'm going to set you up while I clean this. Typically narcissistic parents, toxic households, all that stuff. But I also like cars and whatever I feel like doing. And so I figured I would just do this. But yeah, so I'm talking about anything. We're talking about this car. We're talking about apparently Disney backpacks. I know that that's very confusing. And we're talking about narc parents. So I'm game to talk about whatever. And if you have another subject that you think would be fun, then hey, let's talk about that. Oh, what am I using to clean clean my leather? Okay, so my brother-in-law kind of turned me on to this. I used to use something called leather or Lexol, but this stuff is awesome. It's a 3-in-1 leather spray by Griot's Garage. I think I got it at um, Advance. It's actually kind of smells like leather, but man, it does a phenomenal. Let me show you. I'll show you. Look how. No, damn, I hate the light in here. Let me go to light. Let's try it on here. So you can see. There we go. You can kind of see how bad this looks. Well, maybe you can't because of cameras, but just wait. You'll see. We'll set this up here. We'll clean it. There we go. But this stuff is awesome. Like I said, I used to be a really big fan of this stuff called Lexol, which is a 2-step process. But this stuff is 1 step, and my God, it's amazing. So let's kind of show you. Let me do this one side, and we'll stop it here. You can kind of see the difference. It's got a conditioner and protectant in it. I'm going to do this whole piece here. In here. All right, cool. Let's see if you can see the difference. So that's what's been done. And there's the line, and you can't really tell, but it's really dry. And I mean, again, it hasn't been probably cleaned in a minimum of 10 years. There we go. Sorry. And I'm thinking probably more like 30. Because this car has been sitting since 1987, from what I can tell, with no love. It's cleaning nice. The interior's cleaning up nice. Yeah, this stuff works well. Yeah, this stuff works real well. I've been impressed. I'm actually running out. I need to get more. Okay. I'll show you guys the bad part about this car that I discovered tonight. Not that y'all care, but I'll do it anyways. Well, maybe I won't. It's too dark. Maybe I can go the light. The more beers I get, the more I'm going to talk to myself. There we go. Okay, let's see. I'm going to flip this around. For any of you guys who know about cars, look at this. Somebody tried to fix something and melted all these wires. So I need to replace this entire rear harness, which is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah. Then replace all of these lines. I'll probably get it on jack stands tomorrow. See what I'm working with. But the interior at least is much better. Yeah, right? I didn't see that when I looked at it, but that's not a big deal. It wouldn't have changed anything. That harness is only like $200 brand new, and I have a feeling that I will find one used because, wiring. Yep, I knew that's where this went. Found this piece in the car. Sorry, I got y'all upside down while I'm putting this back on. So stainless steel is very sharp. So it comes with these little things. This one is off to protect your hands when you open and close the hood or on the fenders or whatever. I can't tell you how many times I've cut my hands working on these cars. Yeah, thanks. I've rewired an entire car before, so I know that I can do that, and at least that's fully accessible. It doesn't make it any more or any less fun. You know what I did find, though, since you just got here? I found this really ugly hat in the car, but I'm going to keep it because that means it's probably from 1981 or 2. which is kind of cool. You think you got censored? I think that TikTok's being a bunch of assholes lately, and I'm probably going to get censored for saying that. Because, like I said, they're not putting content out. I know that a lot of other creators that I talk to pretty regularly, their stuff is having the same type of situation where they're not really getting put out there. So I don't know what the point of that is when you have creators that have, you know what, actually I do. I think I know exactly what it is. TikTok is promoting their whole promote yourself thing, which costs money. And I just don't think that I can spend the money to promote my videos. I don't really make any money off of doing videos. So why would I spend money doing it? Which you would think with 260,000 followers, you would make something, but I don't. You guys are still talking about the bags. Yes, y'all are still talking about Disney bags. Why do I have a feeling Alyssa? Oh, she's still in here. Why do I have a feeling she's like looking for everything right now? All right, so we're gonna clean out this area, and I'm gonna move to the back of the car. For all you guys that are joining, welcome. Thanks for coming. We're having all sorts of things that we're talking about tonight. We're talking about this DeLorean that I bought here, and we're talking about narcissistic parents, and we're talking about Disney bags. Oh, you censored the links. Okay. Well, then I misunderstood because I'm only half paying attention. But yeah, we're talking about all those things. Alyssa, I know you're in here, and we were talking about the cars. I know that it would take a lot of work to get it, but I think that this car is in significantly better condition than the other one. At least the interior is. The seals. She wants one of the bags that you can put the Mickey ears in because she's become a Disney adult. So that's going to be a tomorrow project, maybe a later tonight project, depending on how patient Alyssa is with me. I'm going to try to pull that off and see what the fuel tank looks like. Uh, 16, they tried to move the seats. Nice. I had cars that I had weld racing seats to because I was a racer. I will admit that. Actually, I won that trophy right there at Nopi Nationals in 2004 for pimping out a 1999 Nissan Altima. Very proud of myself on that. You know, I say that, but I learned a lot of good skills by doing that. Yeah, people, it's amazing what people will do. The more effort that they'll put themselves through trying to save something, whether it's time or money, I don't know, versus doing it the right way the first time. It's truly mind-boggling. Well, this thing used to have clutch fluid. It used to have brake, well, it still has brake fluid. Well, the calipers are shot. They probably need to be rebuilt. But hey, the car's coming along. I'll leave that out for night. We'll go to the back. Pardon the loud noise. And that loud noise. I'm trying to clean this stuff up back here. You can't see that at all, so I'm just wasting that time. But I'm gonna do it anyways. It's not as good as washing it, but it's something. I think I'm about to be done screwing with this thing for the night. Unless I really want to get into the fuel system, which I don't think I do. So you guys hear real quick. Let me turn y'all around. Well, I don't see her in here right now, Allison. So I have a feeling. What's this say? Hold on. Oh, what's this say? I guess you probably sent her off, and she's probably looking. My guess. There we go. Got my ring light earlier. It used to prop you guys up. There we go. It's fixed. Let me at least move this stuff out of the way. Not have the hood fall on me. Why is it not latching? They're latching out. Yep, there it goes. So I gotta fix this thing. The gas flap hood. Should be pretty easy, I think. Let's try to do that tonight. If I have something strong enough. You don't want that. That all sorts of crap. Don't want that. Oh, this might not be a tonight thing. Well, maybe this would work. I'll try. If not, I can always scrape it off and try again. $500 cash for what? The car? It's funny. You could maybe buy one of the wheels. Maybe one of the wheels for $500 cash. Maybe. Cool. I don't know why everybody says cash when they do it. Like, what are you going to pay me in? Like 500 peanuts? You know? I think we all assume it's cash. That's funny though. Hey! What you doing, Nick? This is the new car. I know Nick. Nick is an awesome guy. I'm gonna pump Nick real quick. He can post it down if he wants to, but he sells some really cool DeLorean stuff, mugs, shirts, whatever. And if he wants to put his, and there's not a lot of people in the live, but if he wants to put his link, he's welcome to. He was today at a wedding doing an event with his car. I guess that went well. I guess you're home. Yeah, I just figured tonight I didn't really have anything to do. I'm trying to glue the glass flap hood back on. I'm probably not using the right product, but whatever. We'll find out tomorrow. Oh, Nick, this thing, somebody torched the rear harness. So if you know anybody out your way that's got one, let me know. I'd rather not buy it from DMC. I mean, I don't have a problem with DMC, but I'd rather save the money. Nice, 350 is good. Yeah, I've been cleaning it up. It needs some regret. It needs the. No, I need to get a better product too. Needs a little love on the front end. Awesome. Oh, you saw my post? Cool. Well, there's not more people around here. I was gonna say you can promote your thing because your site's awesome. Let's see if this stuff works. I'm using a gasket maker. We'll see how this goes. You just get a clamp and see what happens by morning. Awesome. I appreciate you asking around. I'm surprised that some of the people on there haven't responded already. There's a couple people that I kind of felt that would. I can't remember the name of the guy who is liquidating John Steger's stash since he passed away. I have to reach out to him. I reached out to Richard, and I reached out to Rich, see if they had any. And those of y'all who are joining, we are working on a DeLorean. So this is coming out here. Allison wants to know if you bought a bag. She hasn't bought one yet. Yeah, Richard makes something. Exactly. Oh, he's the one that's doing it. Okay, yeah, I sent a message to him, but you might be friends with him, and I'm not, so you can ask him. If you want, if he's not too much trouble. Here's what I'll show you what I've done since you just joined. I cleaned it, kind of. It still looks like shit. But, I need to go over it again. I need to go over it with one of the red 3M pads. Nick is a DeLorean owner too, so he understands the pain. But I ripped the seats out because they weren't even bolted down, and I cleaned it up in here. I did a pretty good job. The dash, well, I'll show you the binnacle looks like that. The dash has 2 cracks, one there and one way down there by the speaker cover. I think those can be patched and repaired. This one, I don't know. Maybe. Doubt it. And then the seats, as you can see, need to be recovered. So they're going to get heated seats, and then I'm missing the piece of carpet that goes across the bulkhead. And yeah. Yeah, it was in the car. And here's, I need a new wiring. I don't want to get the light, but I can send it to you, a picture of it later. The whole thing is torched in the rear wiring harness. I'll show you. I can see if it's not too dark. There we go. 25,853 miles. So, it's got some low miles on it, for sure. Somebody somewhere will have it. The rest of the carpet, this is original factory carpet. It's in phenomenal shape. I can't name an NHL player because I'm not a sports guy. When God was handing out the man card, your choices were cars and sports, and I got cars. And I could probably name other sports players, but they'd be from the 90s. Yeah, the early black interior cars. Yeah. It's got the darker wheels too. Here's the thing though, the wheel gap on this car is terrible. Look at that. I know the tires are like dead. But then you come out to the other car, which is probably gonna be too dark. And it tucks tire. And it's dark. I see you can't even get your finger under. So something's gonna have to be done about that if that ends up being the one I keep. But the more I look at this one, it needs work. Well, the wheels need to be redone, and I know I'm supposed to do them dark, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, a lot of the stuff on this car has seen better days. Got one gray matte and one black one. But yeah, that's a lot of work done for the night. So, yeah, I might call it. Let this thing try to dry. Hopefully it'll work. We'll see. But I do like the gas flap hood because it is a pain in the ass to pop the hood every time you go to a gas station. The fascias need to be repainted, but the eyebrowing on this one isn't bad. The grill's nice, it's in good shape. Um, I'd love to get a power to it and see what works and what doesn't, but I need that harness before I can do that. But dude, the fitment of the doors is amazing. Oh, and I'll show you something else too while I got you here. I found this very ugly hat in the car. I'm going to keep it, but it's hideous. I'm going to try to clean it up. But yeah. Yeah, isn't that funny? Hey, Nick, since you're here, do you know what this does? I found like a couple of these in the car. I have no idea. It's GM parts. There's one here, and then I found another one on the interior. I'm thinking this was some Bosch RPM relay. Where's the other one? Yeah, here's another one. What do those do? Okay, that's like a coil. Look, I found the clock, too. It's rattling, though. Oh, no, it's not. It's just, yes, it is. Yeah, it's rattling. Somebody in the community can rebuild them. I forget who. We'll figure that out. We'll ask as we get closer. We'll see where this car is at. No, I got half of it cleaned up. Let me do this. You figure that the fitment on these doors is insane. It's got the plastic handles though, so that's going to have to be upgraded because it's going to definitely break off. Quality control stuff. Yeah, somebody will know. You know, it's a small community. I'll tell you what though, I got to give Hervey this. It's got his struts on here, and these doors freaking fly open. We're gonna go inside and get some more stainless steel cleaner. Hey there. Y'all are welcome to ask any questions. Tonight we're working on a barn find DeLorean, but I'm happy to talk about narcissistic parents or Disney bags. My wife is searching for them right now. Allison, if you're still here, she's on their website. She just showed it to me as I stepped inside. And I'm probably going to get yelled at here in a second because I'm going to make a big mess and then I'm going to leave. Here in my laundry room right now. Sorry for the mess. I'm looking for things. You're still here? Yeah, she's looking for bag. She's still here. She's waiting for you to purchase something, Alyssa. You what? She's put a bunch in the cart. Well, she said you could get 3 for 1, basically. I cannot find what I'm looking for. So I may not be doing that. I found some stainless cleaner. It's almost gone. Where's my good stuff, Alyssa? The Sheila Shine. You know what? I bet you that's in the garage. Some of his shoe stuff. We're just really all over the place tonight on this live. It's okay that it's small niche. People coming in and out. All right. Oh, this one got kicked out. It's an important decision. It is. It's the most important decision. Why is this tire trying to stab me? It's so dry rotted. It's hilarious. Oh, there it goes. It's not in here. All right, we'll just use this stuff. Whatever happens, happens. All right. So for you guys who are just joining, we're cleaning up a barn find DeLorean. We're talking about whatever y'all want to talk about. And I know it's not my usual content, but that's okay. We can deviate some, right? Just take your time. I just see that part. Yes, very. Now you can see we're just wiping up the stainless steel. So Nick, I did order the original certificate of ownership from the DMC museum today. So we'll see what we get on that. I really need to go get the scouring pad and get this thing outside. I just coated in dust from years of neglect. Seals around the window are bad. And they still hold, but they look bad. We ready to replace these seals, Nick? Well, probably not. Your car's in much better shape. If you're saying those windows are ridiculous. I wonder if they're just on the outside. Your car's I believe you. That's why I don't go to shows anymore, because people can't leave them alone. I was saying that earlier tonight, that just these cars, because they're part of pop culture, people treat them differently than they do normally. Normal classic cars. So I'm sure it's doable. Everything's doable. It's just how much of how much of a pain in the ass is it? It's like trying to replace the rear speakers. It's doable, but you know. All right. So it's not perfect, but it's better. Pardon that noise. Well, the bad news is we found no keys. So I think I'm going to have to probably switch to a single lock system for the time being. Oh, you replaced the speakers last year? Yeah, so I have a retro sound in mind in a sub and a system, which will probably transfer to this car if I keep this car. And then I may talk to you about how you successfully got the back ones without having to rip out those rear panels. Because I did that on the last one. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to cut them out. That cleaned up pretty decent. Did they? Yeah. The locks are cool. They're black. It's got plastic handles though, so that's definitely something that's got to be dealt with. I mean, dude, seriously, the doors, like the alignment and the closing and opening, it's like perfect. My other one's like needs to go to DMC and be adjusted, but this one's pretty good. Yeah, well, I cut the last ones, but you know, Hervey had done so many things to that car. Heat gun and angled hook. Thing to open vinyl on the edges. Okay, you and I are going to chat about that when I get there. I'm not there. You know, it's a shame. You can see it had the cool pinstripe at one point, but it's just totally roached. And I don't think it's salvageable, unfortunately. Because I would have kept that. Although if I can save it and I have to get rid of all of the rest of it, I might get rid of the stuff on the inside of the DMC and keep the DMC. And now I like them. But yeah, here we go. Got this one too. This one's lower with a stripe and a few other things on it. It's not perfect. It still gets, sorry, it's so dark. Yeah, this one too. But this one's low. I should do a video of it tomorrow or put them side by side and compare. Because, you know, I need all the DeLoreans. I do that. That's awesome. You know, the thing about DeLoreans is once you've seen one DeLorean, you've seen all DeLoreans for the most part. Nick, what I do like about this one, for all y'all, what I like about this one is it doesn't have the antenna anywhere. It just has it built into the windshield, which is a really nice thing. No, I'm not keeping both. I'm going to sell one. I don't know which one yet. If I keep this one, some parts from this car, from my other car, are going to be moved over to this car. Things like the lowering spring, or the coilovers, maybe the exhaust, maybe, and a few other things. If I, different interiors. That one's a gray interior. This one's a black interior. Oh, nice. I would hate to be the one replacing the windshield on these cars. I'm excited to get this thing outside and actually soaped up, hosed up, and washed off, and then blended. But this tire is so dry rotted it won't hold air. So I got to change that. Well, I appreciate that, but right now I haven't made a decision. But you know what? I'll tell you what, Omar. So I have my main content is I talk about narcissistic family and stuff like that. But I'm also going to be doing the restoration of this car, whatever we're doing between the two cars on this too. So definitely follow, and when whichever one comes for sale, you'll be the first to know if you want. Anchor tires matching stuff again. The other one has Uniroyal on it. And I went with Uniroyal. I'll tell you why I went with Uniroyal. It's the dumbest reason. But you know how the red stripe on the GTO was John DeLorean's idea. So I was like, oh, I'm going to buy um, Uniroyals to pay homage to that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do the restoration videos. I've done on this car, Omar. I did three today, of three parts of a video tour of this car, so you kind of see where it is to start. So you're definitely welcome, of course, welcome to go take a look at those. And then I have a few things. There's a DeLorean playlist, so you can kind of see some of the stuff in my thing. So definitely feel free to follow that. Take a look. But yeah, one of them is going to be for sale. I don't know which one yet. We're going to see what this one takes to get going. I'll know a little bit more tomorrow. Today, let's kind of just clean up, make it look a little bit better. And tomorrow, I'm going to try to get into the gas tank a little bit, see what I'm working with there, see what I'm working with fluid-wise, and kind of go from there. Unfortunately, it's so dark, I'd show you guys what the motor and stuff looks like. Just getting a new VIN plate mug. If you want to send me a new VIN plate mug, go for it. This one is 1573. Which is a May 81 build. No, don't. You know what? You start talking about that, I'm not going to sell you one of these. Get out of here with that. First of all, everybody does an LS swap. That's overdone. And there is somebody, Nick could probably chime in and tell, um, that somebody's doing a Tesla swap on one, and I think Google has an electric one. If I was going to do a motor swap, which I'm not, I would probably do a 2JZ, which I think somebody's done, or I'd probably put a tri-rotor in it, because I'm a big fan of rotary motors. Marry it with a Porsche transmission. Will you just let me know? Google bought the car Houston bought built. What's that one? I'll do everybody's favorite part. Let me see if I can turn y'all around. Because I know Omar will get excited by this. I'm going to do this for him. All right. Oh, the EV one? Okay, Omar, so Google bought the car that Houston, whatever he just said. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a great find. It was a really good deal for what it was. I got it for 10,000 less than it was worth. So I'm very excited about that. But here, for Omar, I'll do this because I know this is what you want to see. And since I've just kind of opened it, but here you go. Well, there you go. That was for you. People like to watch the doors open. I need to plug in. I'm starting to lose charge. You're welcome. No, I didn't get it for 10K. I got it for 15. It's worth 10K more. It's worth minimum 25, maybe more once I do a few things to it. Like definitely more once I do a few things to it. With the mileage, with 26,000 miles, or 25,000 miles, I should say. Yeah, it's a really good deal. And it was 8 miles from my house. So, pretty pleased with that. I don't know if I'm charging or not. There we go. I'll put that in here. Yeah. Yeah, it was close. And I had to beg to see it. The whole thing with this woman. There's something there's something weird going on with the whole situation. She admitted that she was going through some litigation, and she's the only one on the title, so it's of no concern to me what she's doing. But there's something up with this car, and she's trying to hide it. She only would take cash. You finally got your parents out? Okay, you and I need to talk offline about that. Copart has one crashed front. How much will you consider? I'm not sure what you're asking me, buddy. Like how much if I was gonna sell this one as it sits right now, the bidding would start at 25,000 as it sits. Yeah, I definitely want to see that because I want to know how that went. How's your stress level since you did that? How are you doing? You know what? Since you're here and I haven't shared this yet, I'm going to share this with you guys while we're having a bunch of conversation. I'm going to share this with you. Um, I got contacted the other night by another branch of my family that wouldn't talk to us because of all the stuff with my mom. And they found my TikToks organically. How much would I pay for a front crash DMC? Depends on how bad it is. If it's repairable, I would say 15 to 20 grand is probably fair. I can tell you that the driver's fender, if you can find them, they're worth about what are they going for, Nick, these days? 3 grand for just that fender. The other fender's cheaper. The hoods, depending on what hood you're supposed to have, is more. This hood's expensive because it's a gas flap hood. You have flat hoods, grooved hoods. I think the flat hoods are more. So yeah, 3K. I was right. Yeah, if give us more info. Nick also Omar NJP 548. He has a car as well, DeLorean as well. That's how I know him. And so between the two of us, we could probably give you some numbers. But anyways, so anyway, she reached out to me and she called me. They found the stuff organically, and now they're talking to me. But apparently, and I haven't shared this yet because I need to talk to them to make sure I can, because I don't want to get them in any hot water at this moment. But apparently, my mom is like going after them, and it goes well beyond narcissism. It's basically this particular person pissed my mom off. I'm trying to. I wish I could say who it was, but I don't want to do that without talking to the first. But anyways, long and short of this is that my mom is going to help this person's ex. They were married. Their ex go after her as kind of like revenge. So that's a new story that I'd like to talk about, but I can't yet. Oh, my hair looks terrible. But I don't know. Omar, the car that that's for sale? Is it a Beverly Hills Car Club car? Because that sounds like one that they would sell. And how much are they asking for it? Got some music going. Oh, that's what fell. My Alexa fell. He said it's on Copart. Sorry, I totally missed that. How much is the starting on Copart? Okay, Nick, you go look it up. I'll wait. Omar, don't go anywhere. Oh, okay. Not Hollywood. I have. Okay. Beverly Hills Car Club has cars. They're, I don't know. People buy them. It's not started yet. Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you get it less than 10 grand, you got that in parts. It just depends on how extensive the damage is. So you can buy the front end extension. So if that part was crushed and that goes like, pretty good distance underneath the car, that can be replaced and welded on. It's not that expensive. The hood, fenders, bumpers, fascias, all that stuff is available somewhere. You can find them. Headlights are easy. All this, it just kind of depends on how much damage. Damage is pretty hard on the front. So if you got shell damage, then that's a whole different thing. But what you could possibly do to you get it for a good price is you could buy it, part it out, and you might be able to make enough money off of it to buy one. It's better. Let me try to fish my Alexa back up. It fell down. All right. Time is it? Maybe time for me to shower and call it for the night. Also, for anybody who is interested, I'll say this, and there's only like 4 people in here right now, but I know you've already registered, Nick, but I'm going to be doing an Airbnb session tomorrow too, because we own a couple Airbnbs and they're very, very lucrative. If you have interest in that, and if you've seen the video on that or haven't, take a look at it and register for the live. It'll be tomorrow at 7:30, and it's something that I just want to pay forward because somebody helped me get into it. If you have interest in that, definitely do that. And if you have interest in watching the progression of this car, follow me for that. And if you just want to talk about narcissistic parents, then follow me for that too, because that's what I have most of my followers for. All right, I want to close this door up. Let y'all stare at the car for a few more minutes while I shut everything down. And I think I'm going to call the night. My wife has been very patient and understanding. Yeah. Looks like Jeremy's on. Hey, Jeremy, this is the new car. And Jeremy, you should also join the Airbnb session that I'm doing tomorrow if you haven't already. Jeremy is the friend that I was just talking about who just left, who got me into Airbnbs, and I'm very appreciative of that. He's very knowledgeable, and he actually just bought a like a 6-unit like apartment thing. Thank you. Well, I think, guys, I'm getting ready to call it. I'm tired. I probably need a shower desperately, and maybe I'll do this. Well, I'm definitely going to be on tomorrow, but maybe any more work that I do on tomorrow, maybe I will set this up, and you guys can watch if you want. We can talk about stuff while we do it. But I think I'm going to call it for the night. I appreciate everyone who's joined. And like I said, don't forget to follow me if you have interest in Airbnb stuff, the restoration of this car, or narcissistic parent stuff, toxic family stuff. Do I have Instagram? Yeah, my Instagram is DMC Dream. DMC, yeah, so pretty easy. DMC Dream. And I don't know what Nick's is. I know he has one too. And then there's also some great DeLorean groups on Facebook. There is a DeLorean like for sale group that you might want to join, especially if you're considering this. It'll give you some good ideas. You can also run. Well, actually, I wouldn't. I wouldn't tell the group about the car because they're scavengers and they're going to try to take it out from under you. So keep that secret, and decide what you want to do once it's out there. If you want to bid on it or not. Well, all right, guys. I appreciate everyone stopping by. I'm going to go. Hope y'all have a great night, and we'll do this again tomorrow.